While you could try to trade it, I think it's going to be a loser to trade. I still think you should own it. Now, I don't love the ruling, though. Nobody's putting a gun to your head, though, and making you use Apple's ecosystem. I want to say it's bad for business, but really it's bad for Apple and good for third-party developers that want to make money selling apps. So you're going to be looking for number cuts in the out years, even perhaps from the bulls. And that's something that this stock, even if today's dramatic 5-point decline, can really afford. Monday could also bring the beginning of a serious backlash against President Biden's actions this week to try to get more people vaccinated in this country. Higher fines for no mask, OSHA enforcement, forcing federal employees to get their shots or get tested every week. I am totally on board with this stuff, as you know. We need to wipe this thing out, even if it requires a little coercion. But the anti-vaxxers and the leaders in Washington will whine about how this is a violation of their civil liberties. Never mind that we've had vaccine mandates for a century. I never heard about violations of civil liberties before. Away from politics and the legal system, it's going to be a pretty quiet week.
Cardano and Solana just had record-breaking announcements, so in today's video we're going to talk about everything you need to know about both of these projects, and also at the end of the video we have a surprise announcement from Ioke and Charles Hoskinson, which you're definitely not going to want to miss with regards to the Alonzo upgrade. As always, I'm going to put timestamps down below, and if you guys enjoy this sort of content, then be sure give this video a like. Overall, the crypto market is sitting at $2.13 trillion, and we're seeing a lot more coins in the green today. Bitcoin is up just slightly, but what has been driving the gains in the market are coins like Polkadot, which is up 9.3, and Avalanche, which continues to rise. Every single day Avalanche is up another 24. Over the last 24 hours. In regard to technical indicators, a couple of very interesting things have been happening with Bitcoin, and these are very bullish technical indicators, because no matter what's happening with Cardano, no matter what's happening with Solana, what's happening with any altcoins, it's important to take a look at a couple of indicate where the overall market is going, because that is crucial. So right now we're seeing a golden cross continuing to form. That is where the 50-day moving average, which is this blue line right here, crosses above the 200. Cross above the orange line, so the 50-day cross above the 200-day moving average. That is a very bullish indicator for crypto, and that's a sure sign that we're going to see a massive second leg of the bull market for the rest of 2021. So Bitcoin reaching 100k, Cardano potentially reaching $8 to $10 per coin, and seeing all these other altcoins reach record highs. So we need to keep an eye out on this, but we are seeing Bitcoin's price bounce up above this line, and if we see the golden cross happen, that is a very, very bullish technical indicator for crypto. One other thing before we move on is with regards to a golden cross, or something called the death cross, which is where the opposite happens. Typically moving into these events, we usually see a big dump take place. For example, we saw Bitcoin whale accounts just dump a lot of Bitcoin, almost $3 billion worth in a span of 24 hours when we were getting close to this golden cross. This is not unusual. This is what that we're going to need to keep an eye out on over the next 24 to 48 hours, because that is going to be a defining moment for crypto. Moving on, I want to talk about a big announcement that just came out with Solana, because this is huge. Over the last couple of weeks we have seen NFTs explode, but recently we have seen that OpenSea, which is one of the main NFT platforms, we've seen that OpenSea's NFT volume has dropped dramatically. A number of top projects like Crypto, Pumpsport, Apes Yacht Club, Loot, and a number of other collections have taken massive hits of about 44 to 82 in daily trading volume, and now we're seeing that overall OpenSea's NFT volume is down 50 recently. So why is this important? Well, we're seeing a lot of people move from OpenSea, move from putting NFTs on Ethereum and other networks. Now they're putting it onto Solana, and Solana just saw a record-breaking sale for its first ever $1 million NFT, and this is absolutely huge. This was part of the degenerate ape co. of transaction fees, much lower in terms of first of all number of collections on the platform. Solana is still in its very early stages and still growing very rapidly, so there are a lot of benefits for people listing NFTs on Solana, and also with regards to people actually buying NFTs on Solana because of the scarcity on Solana's blockchain. So this was very exciting to see, and me personally, I have a couple of NFT. Has been in it for a while. We're seeing Mike Tyson recently come out and say Solana or Ethereum. His profile picture on Twitter is a cool cat, which is an NFT collection on Ethereum. So we're seeing going to want to miss with regards to the Alonzo upgrade. As always, I'm going to put timestamps down below, and if you guys enjoy this sort of content, well then please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications, and also if you want additional content, don't forget to check out our Patreon group. We have less than 5 spots remaining. I show you guys my $700,000 portfolio on Robinhood, my $200,000 portfolio on Webull, and my 7-figure portfolios with crypto on a couple of other accounts. But anyways, let's start off by talking about a couple couple of very important things going on with the overall crypto market before we get into Solana and Cardano. So first thing is the overall crypto market is sitting at $2.13 trillion and we're seeing a lot more coins in the green today. Bitcoin is up just slightly, but what has been driving the gains in the market are coins like Polkadot, which is up 9.3, and Avalanche, which continues to rise. Eve.
Robert, I know you've been watching some of the risk factors coming from Washington for the markets, the debt ceiling, potential higher tax legislation. You think that's having an impact here or will do so in the coming weeks and months?
Thank you, Sarah, for having me on. I would say right now the market is not explicitly focused on those items. They are aware of the debt ceiling battle that's going to be ahead. They're aware of any potential tax legislation, but it's too early to know exactly what the details are going to be. We foresee a lot of horse trading to occur on both sides of the aisle before any legislation is passed. We do think the market is aware of it, and but from our focus and what we've seen is that the market is likely to have higher earnings from corporations next year, in spite of all the tax increases that may be bandied about, which would lead to a higher market in 2022.
Charlie, when you have these down days, does it make you think that the cyclicals are due to bounce more, or those big tech names that have kind of led us lower? Do you stay very firmly focused on the names you already have in your portfolio?
Yeah, we've even got a wider gap between value stocks and growth than we've had before because, as I've mentioned, the last 5 months, growth has outperformed value. So, we've got names like Goldman Sachs trading at 10 times earnings, and we've got Borg Warner, we talked about before, trading at 9 times earnings. So we still think they've got support through their earnings that the large cap tech names don't have. There's nothing to prevent a stock trading at 35 times earnings to go to 30. It's hard a stock trading at 8 times earnings to go to 6.
What about you, Robert? Where are you looking right now? It says you like secular growers. Does that mean technology?
Yes, it does. We like companies really that are secular growers, companies that have a pricing advantage against its competition, companies that can raise prices, and companies that are in growing markets. And so, in a diversified portfolio, we would be leading with technology, healthcare, and consumer discretion. As people go back to work, they're going to spend more money. And so that's a reason for consumer discretion. Technology has become the bedrock of the portfolios. Companies have found that technology is essential for business formation, for productivity, and for actually the survival of their own business. And so we would continue to believe the large cap tech is the right place to be. And we're in the middle of a digital revolution here, productivity revolution, that everybody has to know and everybody has realized I have to have technology to offset higher input costs and